Hey, what is up, y'all? Oh, hold on. This music's a little too loud. How is it that loud when I got it like five? I don't know, man. I don't know how this shit's this loud. Alright, let's not stall. Let's not do nothing. Let's get straight into it. Hold on, let me change my outfit real quick. Ooh, I need different patterns. I guess that's it. Alright, top 5 TV shows to binge watch. These all are kind of pretty old, and they all have 5 or more seasons with like 20 episodes each. Crazy amount of episodes to watch. They're all kind of similar themed, but you know, they're these are for binging purposes. Like sometimes where you just can't find anything you enjoy, you just want to binge because there are TV shows where it's great to watch it weekly. It's like a thing where everybody watches one episode and everybody talks about it on Twitter or whatnot. But binging an episode with a friend, whatever, is one of the best things. Oh, let me stop stalling and get into it. Number five. At number five, if I could edit, I would put like a picture of the thing as I'm talking, but I don't know how to do that. But number five is Burn Notice. A lot of people might know about this show, and a lot of people might not. But this show was super popular, I think, back in the day, and I watched a lot of it. I watched so much of it. I don't know what the beginning and the end was because I just watched it on TV. I never watched it on anything. But now I'm like rewatching it from episode one because I've watched like maybe if it has like 100 episodes, I've watched like 80 of them in the wrong order. Like I watched season one, then season five, and season three, and season four, and two, and six, and seven. It has 7 seasons. It's a good show. Basically, the premise of the show is basically about Jump. It's basically about this guy named Michael Weston, and he's a badass. He can literally do anything on the planet, and basically his job is basically to not his job, but his goal in the show is to like to get off the burn notice. And the burn notice means like he explains it in the first episode. So if you think I'm spoiling, I'm really not. It's basically when you're burned, you're blacklisted from like being a spy, and that's his job, is being a spy. And he's from Miami originally. So then what happens is they burn him, they drop him in Miami, they get like they say it was basically like they got rid of him as a spy. That's what burn basically means, and he wants to get his job back. I don't know why. That's a plot point. I really don't understand why he wants his job back, but it says that in the show. There's a lot of things. There's an overarching plot. There's a lot of people involved, a lot of conspiracy, a lot of action, a lot of cool guest stars. Michael B. Jordan is in it, like early when he's a kid. There's so much action and storytelling, and really what I love about it is, first of all, the comedy is underrated. It's not really a funny show, but the things that Michael says unironically, Michael is the main character, it really just grinds my, like, he talks about spies like there's some foreign adversary, and I know that they are like not in my world and I've never met a spy, but it's like he talks about them like one of the lines in the show is like, when you're a spy, the most boring thing is surveillance. Oh, no, he didn't say that. He says the leading cause in weight. No, what he says is like, oh, when you're a spy, the leading cause in weight gain is surveillance. When all you have is to watch somebody or something like that, you're more likely to eat more food or something. And he says it in a tone that just makes me like laugh my ass off. Like I was crying when he said that shit, and it's just the underrated because like he be saying things that just like, yo bro, like you don't have to like the tone that he narrates sometimes is just hilarious to me, and action is awesome. Like there's different types of action. There's car scenes, there's shooting scenes, there's hand to hand. There's a lot of cool action scenes, there's a lot of spy things, a lot of he always thinks of a plan to get out of the situation. Every week there's a new thing that he has to tackle, plus the overarching plot of trying to figure out who burned him and yada yada yada. It's a really good show. It's 7 seasons. It has one of the best endings of any TV show. It's a really concise story. The main characters, I don't think you'll hate any of them. There's Michael Weston, the main character. his ex-girlfriend Fiona, which is a badass, and Sam Axe, who is just the funny guy who's very resourceful, was a Navy SEAL, one of those types. And yeah, I really like the show. It's 7 seasons. It's something to look forward to. I'd say. And yeah. Oh, that was a dumb move. Okay, that was number one. What is number two? What that was that? I'm sorry. Hold on. Let me get to this. I'm so like locked in right now. It's crazy. This is why I shouldn't have played Fall Guys. I should play FIFA, because FIFA. I really can't talk while I'm playing FIFA either. I don't know what. Boom. All right, qualified. All right, number four. Number four is Chuck. CHUCK. I'm going to put all the names in the description for you guys as well. I'm not trying to make this video long. Let me just talk about this. Chuck is basically about the guy. So basically, the premise of the show is that the government, the CIA, NASA, NSA, I mean, CIA, NSA, FBI, Autumn, they really don't talk about the FBI much, but it's really about the CIA and the NSA, the intelligence communities. And what they did was they took all of their intelligence on foreign adversaries, on their own government, on like different types of bombs, weapons, people that they're interested in, all of that information that like that they have on people and things and and missions that they've done. They put it all into a computer called the Intersect, and basically one guy downloaded it into his brain. That's the entire premise of the show right there. And then there's reasons, and you might be thinking, oh, is that a spoiler? That literally happens in the first episode. And so the show goes on from there. There's two main characters, Sarah and Casey. Sarah's from the CIA. She's a spy, and then Casey's like a NASA agent from the NSA, and then Chuck's in the middle, just a normal guy who's down on his luck, who works at a Buy More, which is like a fake Best Buy. Basically, he works as the Nerd Herd, which is like Geek Squad, the Geek Squad in a Best Buy. He basically works as one of those people in this story, and it kind of just shows like his story, like him becoming like whatever he becomes, and like the shit that he has to deal with because it's in his head, and it's really interesting. It's 5 seasons. I think there's more hits than misses in this show. It's one of my favorite shows. I love a lot about it. It's pretty old. It came out in 2005. The action is what really sets it off. The comedy is hilarious. Some of the characters they have, Jeff, Lester, Morgan, they're hilarious. Anna is pretty funny too. Casey is inadvertently funny, especially in the later seasons when he comes to relax. There's Captain Awesome, who's really awesome and pretty funny. He's like a jock character. There's Ellie, who's the stereotypical older sister who wants the best for her brother, whatever nonsense. There's who else is there? There's a lot of characters, man. A lot of great characters. Like in shows like that I'm talking about, like this one, there's not a lot of good characters. Like this one, I don't think, like, there are bad characters and characters who you don't like and characters who are annoying and shit like that. But this one, I have to style on him real quick. This one, there's a lot of great characters, a lot of cool action, a lot of funny comedy. It's 5 seasons. I hate the last season, but the first 4 are phenomenal. I don't like the way the show ended, but there's really nothing much they can do with the 5th season. They should have ended it off at the 4th season, but they wanted more money, like every other person does. But it starts off kind of slow in the first season. I think season 2 is where it really picks up, and then season 3 is phenomenal. And season 4 is kind of like it's not really a fall off. It's still great. But it's kind of like, are we still doing this type of deal. But I like the way season 4 ended. Season 5, it kind of ruined it for me, but overall as a show, I love it. It's really great. It's called Chuck. Check it out. Next one is something called House. I think everybody's heard of House, I'm pretty sure. House is basically about this guy, a doctor, whose name is Dr. Gregory House, and he's in charge of like the medical department that treats like the toughest cases, where it's like, I don't know what the term is called anymore, but it's really like it's like when nobody can figure out something, you know, he's the guy who figures out what's wrong with people. What the hell? No, bro, come on. He's the guy who figures out what's wrong with people and shit. Damn, bro, I'm not qualifying, bro. No way, bro. Ugh. I hate how these are angled, bro. What the hell, bro? Get out the way! Why are they taking so long to respond me, bro? Golly. Oh my god, bro. I quit. I'm not doing that shit. Alright. Number 4 is House. Number 3 is House. Number 3 is House. It has 8 seasons. It's about this character named Gregory House. He tackles the toughest challenges. Every week there's a new case. There's a bunch of cool characters around him. It's a really great story. I think the last 2 seasons are dog shit and really took me a lot to get through them. There are some boring parts the first season, but it's really interesting and you learn a lot about like how hospitals work. I know it's fictional, but there's so many diseases that you learn about that's just crazy, and the solutions that they find to his problems. He's super unorthodox. He does whatever he wants. He's addicted to drugs, you know, and he has a limp. So it's and his character is just fascinating. No matter what, he stays the same. There's no character development in whatsoever. And then they trick you. One season, they act like he's about to change, and then they're like, you know what? The program, nobody likes that he's changing and become a better person. Let's just turn him back to his old way, make him do something super extreme for no reason whatsoever. And that's a spoiler, but not really. And that's about House. House is really good. I love House. I don't love House. I think it was a great show to binge. I was really bored at the time. I was looking for anything. I was really just looking for anything to watch, and that was the one that gave it to me. All right, number 3, number 4, whatever number I'm on, is Psych. It's called Psych. 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 It's the best detective show that I've ever played. Not ever. That I've ever. Oh my God, I'm tripping over my words now. That I've ever watched in my life. It's basically about these two guys. The main character, his name is Sean Spencer, and his best friend is Gus. And basically, Sean Spencer, his dad was a cop, and his dad, his whole life, especially when he was a kid, kept training him on how to be a detective, and how to look for clues, how to analyze people, how to just be a cop and be a detective, showing him all his little ways, how to figure out who's the bad guy. Like, he has this thing where he notices the smallest details on people, and he can infer things on those details. Like, he makes observations on people and then makes assumptions on those observations. So he does that a lot, and then he calls the cops and he tells them yada yada yada. But then they're like, you come up to us with so many tips, and they're like, yeah, but how did you get this tip? And there must be an inside man. And then you know what he does? He sees somebody that looks like they believe in psychics, so he's like, you know what, I'm a psychic. And then from that point you get so many hilarious, this show is the one of the funniest shows I've ever watched, for one. For two, it has great cases that they work on. For three, the characters surrounding them are hilarious. There's just so much about the show that I love. The situations that Sean and Gus get them in is just always so funny. In the movies, I love the movies, especially the last one. The third one is great. There's as 8 seasons. I mean, towards the end, they kind of, you know, like every show, it kind of like went on for longer than it needed to, but I still love it. Then there's 3 movies that came out afterwards. I love those movies. Check it out. It's one of the best shows that you'll ever watch. I guarantee it. And last but not least, this show has 20 seasons. I watched about 15 of them. And do I recommend watching all of those seasons for anybody? No. I I don't recommend it. I am recommending this to people who are like me, who are bored out of their mind and who need something like bad. So, what basically psych not psych this next show that I'm about to talk about is called NCIS. I know you've heard of it before. It's been on TV since like I was a kid, and now it's. I'm first. I'm first. I'm first. I'm first, baby. Let's get it. All right. NCIS. It's about the Naval Criminal Investigation Service. This is for you who wants to binge. By the way, I wouldn't want to because a lot of things change. There's so much bullshit that happens in the story in general. But as a whole, it's not a bad TV show. It has 20 seasons for a reason. It's because it's not a bad show. The cases they handle are not bad. It deals with something called the Naval Criminal Investigative Service. It deals with navies and marines and the shit that they have to like do, you know? And NCIS is a really good show. They have a great cast of characters. I mean, a lot of them left like one of the characters I love, she left like 3 seasons in, and I've hated it ever since then because she was one of the best characters. But 3 seasons in and she quit, it really struck me bad. Oh wow, that guy just jumped off. Boom. Okay. NCIS has like 20 seasons, 21, 22, I don't know how many. There's so many characters, so many cases. If you really want to binge something, you're dying of boredom, it's the worst thing you've ever done, go watch NCIS. But that's like the final line. That's like when you literally are bored to death and you just want some mind-numbing TV show that's sort of interesting that you want to watch. That's what the best binge is. But these other four, I think they're really good binges and they're really good shows. That last one is like there's parts where it's a good show, but then there's like a whole season's mad like stretches where it's just boring as hell. And that's what's gonna happen when you have 50 shows that you try to care about. But yeah, that's it. That's my top five, top 10, top five TV shows to binge that I recommend. If you mess with it, I mean, go ahead and mess with it. Oh my God, nobody went. No, they did. I just have bad internet. Okay, yeah, then that's my top five TV shows that I recommend. If you want to know the names and how to spell these TV shows, just check my description. Check the description of my account. I have all the names. Dude, no way. Am I coming in first in back-to-back races? Oh no, I'm not. I'm not. That thing lagged, bruh. That thing lagged. What? What the hell? Oh my God. Alright, y'all. Check out the description. Like, comment, subscribe. You know how it be in this hoe.